Hi, welcome back to my Soul Alchemy community with me, Samantha, and our next free yoga practice. This month I am going to be taking you through a yin yoga practice for the super new moon in Taurus. Now, there is quite a lot going on this month planetary wise, and you can read more about it in the blog post which I've linked below. But just a quick little roundup for you before we get started. The new moon in Taurus takes place on the 19th of April, and it's going to feel quite intense because it is a super new moon, and all that means is that the moon is closer to us, so we're going to feel things a lot more than we would normally. This is happening conjunct Chiron, and Chiron is the wounded healer, and so this is really asking us to notice our default patterns and behaviours around leadership, taking risks, being assertive and taking initiative. So take a moment to notice that over the next few days during the new moon phase. On the same day, the sun moves into Taurus as well. And so what this is asking us to do is take a look at the foundations and the structures that we built awareness around last month, the ones that perhaps didn't quite help us, the ones that didn't support us, and the ones that hindered us, and notice the behaviours and the patterns that we tried to establish last month and really allow them to ground down, because the sun, when he was in Aries, felt really comfortable, but now that he's in Taurus, it's a much more calmer and grounding energy. So it's a perfect time to really root those intentions and to make them our default. On the 24th, Venus enters Gemini, and Venus leaving her home sign of Taurus can sometimes feel a little bit uncomfortable, but because she's going into Gemini, the focus is on how we communicate, and that can start to feel quite beautiful, and also it can help us to build a little bit more confidence around the ways in which we communicate as well. And so this month's practice is all about us taking the time to find that sense of balance, because the sun being in Taurus, the new moon in Taurus, the full moon in Scorpio later on in the month, really wants us to find that sense of balance and that middle ground, especially after such a fiery Aries season where we felt really courageous and really brave. So I'm going to take you through a yin yoga practice, which I'm really excited about because I haven't actually done one of these for a very long time. I think this is the first one I've recorded in like 3 years. So this is an opportunity to get all of the props. If you have a bolster, get it. If you have cushions, get them. If you have a blanket, get it. If you have a yoga strap or a strap for your yoga mat with the loops at the end, get that. If you don't, grab a towel instead. If you have yoga blocks, grab them as well, because the beauty of a yin yoga practice is that we get to really kind of like marinate in the shapes. It's not like other yoga practices. This builds awareness around the connective tissues. It's not about stretching the muscles or stretching the body. It's about focusing on the connective tissue, the ligaments, the tendons, and really noticing how it feels to be in a particular shape that perhaps normally we wouldn't spend a lot of time in because we might not find it that comfortable. And so yin can often be seen as a boring practice, and I certainly used to have this mindset, but actually the more that I'm practicing yoga and the more that I'm teaching yoga, the more I've come to the belief that actually yin is a really amazing practice, because not only does it allow us to slow down, but when we slow down, our mind starts to become very active. And so that's when discomfort can start to creep in. And like I've said before, it is in the discomfort that we often find our practice. So we're gonna try and stick with it. And I really encourage you to, with the shapes, to not go into them at your 100%. Instead, I'm going to guide you to come into them at like 50%, and then we'll ease into it to say 75%, and then 80%, and then 95%, and then 100%, so that we can spend a lot of time in each of those shapes. I'm going to take you through a breathwork practice. I'm going to share with you a hand mudra as well, and there, as always, will be a guided meditation at the end. So we aren't going to be moving through a lot of shapes here, because the idea is to really just relish marinading in them for as long as possible. So with that in mind, get yourself into a comfortable seated position, whatever that may feel like for you. And this is where you can start to get your props. So get your cushions underneath your knees if you're in a cross-legged position like me. Maybe you want to create even more space by popping a block underneath them. If you don't have a block, what you could use is a heavy book, just to create that height. So comfortable position, and make sure you're warm as well. I think with a yin practice, much like restorative, I want to be as comfortable as possible. So if you want to have extra layers like a jumper, you'd like a hot water bottle nearby, now is the time to go and grab them. So comfortable seated position. And you can fidget here. This is also the beauty of yin, is we can fidget as we find our comfort with each of the shapes. Bring the hands to the knees and gently close the eyes or soften the gaze if that feels more comfortable for you. And notice your natural rhythm of breathing. Don't try to alter your breath just yet. Just take it slow with the breath and begin to notice all of your thoughts, beliefs and judgments here. Watch them flood in one by one, welcome them in. Don't try to resist them. What we resist persists. And as you acknowledge all those thoughts, beliefs and judgments one by one, like a friend, notice how they begin to lose their power. They dissipate, they melt away. And sometimes this happens really easily and sometimes it doesn't, and that's okay. And when you're ready, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Notice where the breath is landing and how it feels. Maybe it's landing lower down in the torso near that hand resting on your belly. The breath is slow, long and deep. Or maybe it's landing higher up in the body near that hand resting on your chest. Shallow, short and quick. And then begin to notice how the breath feels as you inhale through your nose, noticing the air as it travels through your nostrils. How does that feel? And imagining it travelling through your lungs, your heart, and all the way around your body delivering oxygen to every single cell that works just for you. And notice as you exhale through the nose as well, how the air feels as it travels out of your nostrils, expelling all of that carbon dioxide. And slowly, slowly invite your inhale to deepen. And your exhale to lengthen through the mouth with a sigh. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the mouth. Inhale. Exhale. And take a few more rounds here at your own pace. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And again, with every breath, noticing the air as it travels in through the nostrils and how that feels. And as you exhale, noticing how the air feels as it travels out of your mouth, over your tongue and past your lips. I'm going to take you through rhythmic breathing here. I'm going to guide you through. We're going to breathe in for a count of 3, out for 4, then in for 4, out for 5, then in for 5, out for 6. We're going to do 3 rounds of each, working up and then down like a ladder. So take a big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth with a sigh. Breathing in for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to your natural rhythm of breathing and bring your hands to rest in your lap. One palm on top of the other, palms facing up, thumbs meet above the palms, Dhyana Mudra. Balancing and grounding. And as you find your way back to your natural rhythm of breathing, allow yourself to find a softness in your breath, in your body, your heart, your mind, and your structures. Again, eyes can be closed if that's comfortable, or just gently lower the gaze down to the ground. And if you want to here, you could set yourself an intention, or your intention could be simply to find a softness in this practice. When you're ready, we're going to bring ourselves into our first shape, butterfly. So it helps if you do have a bolster. If you don't, you can use a roll up. You can use a rolled up blanket, or you can stack up cushions. I do have a bolster. So butterfly is legs crossed, so we're in Sukhasana, and we fold over. But because we're going to be here for a while, support makes it a lot more comfortable. So we are going to pop one block here and another one here to create some height. Now I've got my cushions at the side. As I melt into the shape, I might lose one, but we're going to be here for a while. So make sure you have all of the props that you need so that you can be as comfortable as possible. And as you fold over, let your arms relax into a position that feels most comfortable. And we're going to bring our awareness back to our breath. And you may want to rest with your head to one side, or you may prefer to rest the forehead down. If you're resting with one head to the side, I will let you know when to turn your head so that you don't end up with creak in your neck. And because this is our first shape, notice what feels intense here. And allow yourself to back off before you fully surrender into it. So I know for me, my 100% is getting right down to the ground, but I can't stay there for that long because it does get uncomfortable. So this is where we get to have fun. And notice with this shape where you feel tension in your body. Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe it's your hips. And if it is your hips, maybe you take a little bit of extra comfort underneath the knees as well, so that you have some height and you have support for your knees. And again, close the eyes if that feels comfortable. Notice your breath here. Notice how it feels to take the breath to the abdomen. And notice how it feels to take the breath to the sides of the body, to the ribs. And if you want to here, you can turn your head to the other side. And then take the breath to the back of the body and see how that feels. And then whichever of those options you prefer, whichever one felt the most expansive for you, go there for the next few rounds of breath. We're going to be here for a good 10 rounds of breath, so make it slow and consciously extend your exhale to just a little bit longer than the inhale here. And maybe at some point throughout the shape you've removed some supports because you felt able to just ease into it a little bit more. We're going to stay here for a couple more rounds of breath. And slowly, slowly, when you're ready, come back up to seated, back up to Sukhasana. Bringing ourselves into Sphinx. So I'm going to move all my props out of the way for this one. Pop them just with me for now. It's always good if you've got a cup of tea nearby as well. Now with Sphinx, we are coming onto our tummy. So go ahead and bring yourself onto your knees. And then we're going to lower down onto our tummy. And to begin with, if you want, you can grab one of your blocks and pop it underneath your forehead so that the long, thin edge of your block is just on the brow bone. You can give yourself a little forehead massage here by rocking the head from side to side. And as you find that place of comfort, in crocodile to begin with, notice where you are holding tension in your body still. Maybe it's your glutes, maybe it's the backs of your thighs, maybe they haven't quite fully surrendered yet. So notice them and give them permission to relax here. You can stay here for as long as you want, but when you're ready, pop your block to the side, bring the elbows underneath the shoulders and rise up into Sphinx. And notice here all the parts of your body in contact with the ground beneath you. Notice as you rise up through Sphinx where you again feel tension in your body, where naturally contracts and tightens. For me, it's my thighs, it's my glutes, because I'm lifting my upper body and my lower body wants to engage as well. So obviously also my shoulders have tightened as well. Notice how this feels in the back of the neck. Soften the gaze, you can close the eyes here. Notice where you feel resistance in your body with this particular shape, especially without the support here. If you're feeling like this is uncomfortable and you'd like a bit of support to begin with, you could put your bolster or cushions just in front of your torso, just to give you a little bit of support here so you can kind of relax into it a little bit. Again, remembering this is about softening into the practice. So noticing parts of your body in contact with the ground beneath you, maybe the tops of your feet, your shins, your knees, your thighs, your groin, your hips, your belly. elbows, forearms, wrists, palms and fingers. Taking the next inhale to the belly on purpose here. Notice the resistance between you and the ground beneath you. Exhale with a sigh. Breathing in. Breathing out. 3 more times. And when it feels right for you, go ahead and remove any props out of the way, just one by one as you bring yourself into the shape a little bit more. This time, taking the breath to your heart space. Notice how your lower back feels here. And then bringing the hands under the shoulders, go ahead and shift yourself back up into kneeling through your cobra. And almost as if you want to go into child's pose. If you do want to go to child's pose, here is a little counter shape for your lower back after being in Sphinx. Please do. With child's pose, again, make it comfortable. Get your block, get your bolster, get your cushions, your blanket, pile everything up, and just allow yourself to melt into it. And then taking those props away, we're going to bring ourselves into heart melting. And so with this, we're bringing ourselves back down to the ground, but staying in that kneeling position. So hips are going to stay over the knees. We're going to drop the chest down to the ground, keeping the hips high and allowing the chin to rest on the ground. So if you know that this doesn't feel comfortable for you, again, support. You can maybe bring a block or your cushions underneath your chin for a bit of extra support here. Maybe you would like some extra support for your knees as well. So pop your bolster just on your lower legs. Maybe curl the toes under. And again, bring your awareness back to your breath. Maybe this time take it to the back of the body only. We're going to stay here for at least 5 rounds of breath, slow and steady. And in this shape, bring your awareness to your heart space once more. Notice how it feels to take your breath into your heart space. It might feel uncomfortable, especially being so close to the ground, much like in Sphinx, breathing into the belly. But notice it, notice the resistance, the comfort, the ease, the discomfort. And if you're resting with your head to one side, go ahead and switch sides here. And slowly bringing yourself out of heart melting, we're going to come into dragon. And this is kind of like a low lunge, but we're going to use our blocks to really help us here by bringing the ground up to us. Cushions also count as an alternative. So coming back into that kneeling position, you're going to bring your right foot forwards, making sure that the knee is above the ankle. And using our blocks to rest our forearms on. So we're in that low lunge position, but we are not all the way down at the ground, which can feel quite nice for a little while, but because we're going to be here for longer than 2 breaths, being closer to the ground can get very uncomfortable very quickly. And so as you breathe here, bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. And all the parts of you in contact with the ground beneath you. Allow yourself to melt into the earth a little bit more. And let your renewed sense of self and behaviours take root as well. And chances are you'll feel this down the front of that back leg. So if it's feeling a bit uncomfortable here, create a little bit more space. Maybe come onto the hands. Maybe draw that back knee in a little bit closer. And you can fidget here. You can draw some circles if you want to. Take a sway from side to side, rock back and forth. And then again, lowering your connection to the ground as you start to feel a little bit more comfortable, as the muscles start to relax and go, oh, this is okay. I'm okay here. I can relax here. Again, maybe removing one of the blocks, bringing the other one in front of you so you can have both forearms on it. And remembering that you can stay in each shape for as long as you need to. And if and when it feels right, removing the blocks completely and lowering down to those forearms completely. And slowly finding your way all the way back up. Shift the weight back, head, and take that right foot back. This time bring your left foot forward. So you can also take the feet wider here. I like to take my foot to the long edge of the mat. Sometimes I'm off the mat completely, and often my foot is not facing the top of the mat because that just doesn't feel comfortable for me. Often my foot will be at a 45-degree angle. And again, I'm going to grab those blocks, bring them a little bit closer to me this time. And one side's always going to feel different. There's always one side that feels more flexible, just a bit easier. There's always one side that feels more resistant and less flexible. That's normal. Bring your awareness back to your breath, back to your heart space. Just noticing where your body is resisting here. Again, maybe drawing some hip circles, changing direction, maybe taking a sway from side to side, gentle rock back and forth, or just being still. If it feels good, lowering the blocks down onto the long, thin edge, bringing you closer to the earth. And taking the time here to think about how the new structures that you built awareness around last month when we were in Aries season, how can they become more established in a way that feels sustainable for you and manageable right now? Again, popping one block to one side, maybe bringing yourself down onto your forearms with one of your blocks, one of your cushions. Keeping the awareness on your breath. And as and when you feel ready, removing all props, bringing yourself closer to the ground. And slowly, slowly bringing yourself back up to your palms, shifting the weight back, feet back into kneeling. Noticing how the hips feel after that. Oh my god, that was a good stretch. Bringing ourselves into divas. So we're gonna grab our bolster, and hopefully we're in a place where we don't need other props underneath, but if you do, obviously use them. I'm gonna start off with one just to be on the safe side. So with dia, we're kind of in like a kind of a mermaid shape here, with the foot resting by the thigh or the knee. And we're going to bring our bolster as close to us as possible. And we're going to lie down just facing one side. So I've got my right foot by my left thigh and I'm facing to the left. And so it's not too dissimilar from the very first shape we did, butterfly, but instead of being in Sukhasana, our legs are in this kind of mermaid-like shape. Coming back to your breath. Connecting to your sense of stability. And noticing the areas of your life where you feel steady and stable.